Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see how to identify the type of knapsack problem a given problem belongs. So I will be giving a couple of examples in order to make this point clear, and I will be showing the identification technique for 0-1 knapsack, bounded knapsack as well as unbounded knapsack. So let us first see the knapsack problem pattern. In a given knapsack problem, as I had shown for the 0-1 knapsack, there was an item array as well as a given maximum capacity of the bag. So in the items array, we were having basically two properties. One was the weight array and another one was the profits array. So these two were different properties, and that is why they were given in different arrays. They could have been given in a 2D array where you would have just 2 number of rows and given n number of columns. Okay, but this can also be separated and formed into two given arrays. So the number of single dimensional array will basically depend on the number of properties your given item is having. So if your item is having two properties, then it will be having two arrays, but it can also have single array or more than two number of arrays. Okay, so this is the item array. Now there was a given maximum capacity which you cannot exceed, which was equals to W. So a generalized knapsack problem can be said to include an array as well as a maximum value W. The array can have x number of properties, so you can have x number of rows from 0 to let's say x, okay, or x minus 1, and you will be having obviously n number of elements, and the number of elements will be same for each and every array. So this can be your given items array, as well as you will be having a single weight which will be W, which will be the maximum capacity, that is the knapsack capacity. Now once you know the knapsack problem pattern, what is the pattern in which we solve the knapsack problem? In knapsack problems, we are given a maximum capacity which is equals to W, okay, and an array of elements where we have choice to either include the element or exclude for each item. Okay, so this is our array. So these are our items. There are n items in this case from I1 to In, and we have choice for each and every item. You can include it or you can exclude it. Number of times we can choose an item defines the type of knapsack. In the case of 0-1 knapsack, you have just two choice for each element. For each element you can either include it or you can exclude it. Okay, but let's say you have a bounded knapsack, and let's say the number of instances for each item can be maximum, let's say 3. So each item can be selected maximum of 3 times. That means we can select an item less than equals to 3 times. So the range will be from 0 and I will be less than equals to x. So this x is the maximum number of instances of each item. So this is for the bounded knapsack. But in a 0-1 knapsack, this x value will be equals to 1. So each item can be included exactly once and not more than once. We can even include it 0 times, but maximum we can include it 1 time. So you can see that 0-1 knapsack is a special case of a bounded knapsack. And for the unbounded case, that is for the unbounded knapsack, we can take each item any number of times. Okay, so we can make these selections any number of times. So that is the case for unbounded knapsack. This is the pattern. Now let us see how the subset sum problem falls in this knapsack problem. Now our given goal for this problem is given a set of elements and a given sum. Find if a subset of the set can have the addition value equals to the given sum. Let's say our set value is 1563 and our sum value is equals to 8. Now we are required to find if there exists a subset of this given set whose sum will be equals to this sum equals to 8. And let's say each element can be included only once. So you can see that this is very similar to the 0-1 knapsack problem. This is exactly similar, by the way. So this set can be said to be your array, that is your items array, and this sum can be said to be your capacity of knapsack, which is W. In the knapsack problem, actually we could fill the given bag any amount we want, but in this case we want to find the sum exactly equals to this sum value. So a variation for this problem can be like this. If we are given a bag and its capacity is let's say W, then you want to entirely fill up this bag. You do not want to leave any space in this bag. Okay, so you cannot have items less than this weight W or greater than this weight W. You want to exactly fill up the bag, and you want to find if it is possible to exactly fill up the bag. So this problem is the same as our subset sum problem. So in this problem as well, we will again be making choices. For this one, we can either select it or we can skip it. For 5, we can select it or we can skip it. Again for 6, we can select it or skip it. Or for 3, we can select it or skip it. Now if you see, in this case we want to find sum equals to 8. So if you select this 5 and this 3 and you skip these items 6 and 1, then your sum will come out to be 8 and the subset will be 5, 3. Okay, so this is a variation of the 0 1 knapsack, because here the number of instances for each item is only equals to 1. Now what happens if the number of instances goes greater than 1 but it is limited? Then that will fall in the bounded knapsack problem. Now if the multiple limited instances of each element in a set can be taken, then that will be called as a bounded knapsack. So in this case, we were only allowed to take just a single instance of each item. Therefore this was 0 1 knapsack. But let's say we were allowed to take each item 2 times at max. So what can be another result? In this case, we would have taken something like 1, 1, 3, 3. This would have also formed a subset where we would have taken each item maximum of 2 times, and then we would have formed this sum equals to 8. Now this would also have been valid because here our number of instances are 1 and 1, that is one number of 5 and one number of 3. This would also have been valid for the bounded knapsack, and this would also have been valid. But for a 0 1 knapsack where each element can have just a single instance, this would have been valid but this would not have been valid. This is the difference between 0 1 and a bounded knapsack. Now let's say if your items can be included any number of times, unlimited number of times, then we could have just taken a1 8 times. Okay, and then we could have said that the sum is equals to 8, and this would have been true. Okay, or otherwise we could have taken 5 and then 3, or even we could have taken 3 3 and 1 1. All these would have been valid because each item can be taken any number of times. So if that is the constraint given, then this problem will fall in the unbounded knapsack problem. I hope you are able to differentiate between 0 1 bounded and unbounded knapsack. Only the constraint will define what type of knapsack it is. And for a knapsack problem, you will be given an array, a set or something very similar, and you will be given a value w. Okay, so these two will be present most of the times. Now let's see another very important problem, which is the coin change problem. Now in this problem, you are given the coins array as well as an amount. So this can be taken as an items array and this can be taken as your w. Okay, now given coin denominations and amount, find the minimum number of coins needed to make up the amount if possible. So if it is possible to make this amount from the given coins array, then we will just have to print the number of coins. And the constraint for this problem is we can use unlimited instances of each coin. So in this problem you can see that each of the coins we have two choices. Either we can include a coin or we can exclude it. Include it or exclude it, include it or exclude it. So if we just have a single instance allowed, let's say we were just having a single instance allowed, and let's say our amount to be found was equals to let's say it was 7, then we would have excluded this item and we would have included these two items, and so we would have formed sum equals to 7, which would have included two number of coins. Okay, and this would have been the minimum number of coins. Now what happens if our amount equals to 11? That would not have been possible because only one instance was allowed. But in this case unlimited instances are allowed. Therefore we can just take 11 number of times, that is 11 times we can take 1, and we can say that the sum value is equals to 11. So in this case we are taking 11 coins, but we want to minimize the number of coins. Therefore we will also choose some other possibilities, some other combinations as well. Let's say you take 5 number of times and then you take a coin 1, then your total coins will be 6 and you will again be forming this sum equals to 11. Again you can minimize it by taking 5 2 number of times and 1 coin 1 number of time. So that will amount to 3 number of coins, and this will be the minimum number of coins in this case. Okay, so this is the coin change problem. So the important thing to notice here is we are given the coins array which is nothing but this items array, and we are given the amount. We want to exactly form this amount. So this W is exactly similar to our subset problem, this subset sum problem W, okay, where our W should exactly be the same value. It should not be less than W, it should not be greater than W. So as I had said earlier, if you are given a bag and its capacity is W, then we want to exactly fill up the entire bag. We don't want to leave any space, and we don't want to exceed the capacity of the bag. We want to exactly fill up the entire bag and find out with how many minimum number of items we can fill the bag. Okay, so this is the same as the knapsack problem, and here only the number of instances will define what type of knapsack it will be. If the number of instances for each item will be unlimited, then this will be unbounded knapsack. If it is more than one but it is limited, then it will be a bounded knapsack. Otherwise, if each item can be taken exactly once, that is it cannot be taken more than once, then it will be a 0-1 knapsack. Okay, so these are the variations. So these two problems were very important in order to make you understand how to identify a knapsack problem and how to differentiate between different types of knapsack. I hope you were able to understand the entire lecture. If you have any type of doubt, then feel free to comment below and I will try to help you as soon as possible. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.